water pump is a vital component in any automobile, as it ensures the engine never gets overheated by letting the coolant flow through the engine block. It ensures the optimum operating temperature of the engine, hoses, and radiator. How does a water pump work? A water pump is vital to a car engine's operation because it ensures the coolant keeps moving through the engine block, cylinder head, hoses, and radiator, and maintains an optimum operating temperature. It is usually driven by a belt from the crankshaft, pulley, or sprocket. A car's water pump uses impeller blades and centrifugal force to move the coolant through the various passages and hoses that make up the cooling system. Once the coolant has flowed around the engine, it is taken by hoses to the radiator, usually at the front of the car, where the hot coolant is cooled by the movement of air over the radiator's fins. It then exits the radiator and flows back into the water pump, where the process starts over. Types of automotive water pumps. In order to gain a comprehensive understanding of water pumps, it is crucial to familiarize ourselves with the various types that exist. 1. Mechanical water pumps. In mechanical water pumps, the coolant absorbs heat from the engine block and cylinder head and releases it to the ambient air through the radiator, depending on the type of construction. Mechanical water pumps can be seated in the pump housing itself on the outside of the engine, or they can be seated directly on the engine block. Generally, mechanical water pumps are driven by V-belts, timing belts, or directly from the engine. 2. Variable water pumps. The main peculiarity of variable water pumps is that they allow the flow rate to be varied depending on the needs of the engine. This is done through a vacuum process. That is, the water pump acts on the cooling system only when necessary. In this way, it helps to increase the efficiency of the engine, which translates into lower fuel consumption and, therefore, a significant reduction in pollutant emissions into the atmosphere. 3 are electric water pumps. Electric water pumps help reduce emissions from modern engines. A supply flow independent of the number of revolutions of the motor enables cooling according to needs. This reduces the power required and therefore reduces friction losses, fuel consumption, and emissions of pollutants. 4. Auxiliary water pumps. The main function of the auxiliary water pumps is to support the main water pump. However, the auxiliary water pump is more focused on comfort, since it is located in a bypass hose of the main cooling system and drives the coolant to the heater inside the car. Some vehicles may have more than one auxiliary pump, depending on the complexity of the cooling system. These auxiliary water pumps are also used in hybrid and electric vehicles in order to bring coolant to all corners of the system, since the batteries are also cooled, as are the electric motors. Common problems in car water pumps. Car issues are inevitable, but with proper care and maintenance, you can surely avoid frequent problems. Always take immediate notice of the following common issues that might occur in your car coolant system. 1. If you hear a grinding noise from the water pump in the car, it might be due to worn-out bearings. Consult a mechanic to know whether you need new bearings only, or you would need to replace car water pump entirely. A loose bearing can also cause belts to lose their grip and fall off. 2. Leakage of water from the coolant pump is also a common problem that occurs in cars. This is an indication that either the shaft seal or the gasket between the car engine and pump has failed to keep the coolant inside the engine. Over time, gaskets or seals tend to dry out, crack, or sometimes break, causing leakage of coolant towards the front of your car. If the gasket is at fault, you would just need to replace the gasket with another one. However, if there is a problem with the shaft seal, then the entire coolant system needs replacement. Be aware of ways to detect car cooling system leak to resolve the issue in time. 3. Cars having water pumps with plastic impellers can break, sometimes leading to vibrations causing the pump to fail. Thus, you would have to replace the entire coolant system in your car if this occurs. 4. During cold temperatures, the water in the cooling system can freeze, causing the wearing of pump's parts. To avoid this from happening, you can maintain a healthy water pump by always ensuring there is an adequate amount of antifreeze in the coolant system. 5. If there is corrosion in your water pump, rust or mineral buildup, then the reason behind this is the use of wrong coolant. Ask your mechanic for the right type of coolant for your car. 6. A high-pitched or light thumping noise indicated loose water pump pulley. It is caused by snapping of belts due to dryness causing the pulley to become loose, and in turn the bearings of the water pump wear out. 7. You might have seen fumes coming out as soon as you open the bonnet of your car. The fumes indicate the overheating of the engine. Consult a mechanic right away to avoid further damage. Get your technician to check the coolant system immediately as it is not working correctly. What are the causes of water pump failure? The causes of water pump failure can include 1. Wear and tear over time. The mechanical parts of the water pump can become worn and lose their effectiveness. Wear and tear can also decrease coolant flow, which can cause the engine to overheat. 2. Lack of maintenance, regular maintenance, and inspecting the water pump can lead to issues such as clogged passages or a buildup of debris, which can decrease coolant flow and cause the water pump to fail. 3. Clogging or corrosion. Coolant can become contaminated with rust, sediment, or other debris, which can clog the passages of the water pump and decrease coolant flow. Additionally, corrosion can damage the water pump and cause it to fail. 4. Overheating. Overheating due to other issues in the cooling system, like a failing thermostat or a stuck closed radiator valve, can cause the bearings in the water pump to wear out prematurely, leading to failure. 5. Bad impeller design. A loose impeller or an improperly installed impeller can prevent the pump from failing. That will be all for today.